welcome to episode 145 as I die of a Cigar Hustler podcast.
Breathe, Mike. Breathe.
Well, that was probably my breathe and smoke. This is still the number one cigar show, at least today.
At least today.
On Podbean. So we're just jumping right into this, huh?
But yeah, we're going to get right into some stuff here.
Okay, everybody knows there's been some stuff.
There's been a little bit of turmoil going on with a really close personal friend of mine, somebody who I consider family.
Oh,
one
my
said
friend too.
and he's your uncle.
My uncle.
Said
Uncle
one said Skip Martin, and his integrity was attacked, and I've seen some vicious memes, and I've seen a lot of things going on out there, and
the memes are terrible.
And I got to be honest, I don't know how this podcast is going to go. I can tell you that when this whole thing kind of dropped with Jeff Borshowitz of Corona Cigars, I've been in my head all week, just thinking things over, and like I could see myself kind of disconnected from like everything,
right?
Just how do I,
Been a tough week.
Yeah, what do I
emotional week.
What do I respond to? How do I handle this? What do I have to say? And I kind of like half-wittedly put some notes together, and I'm going to do my best to really kind of portray all that, and I know I can count on you to kind of help me carry things along here.
Yes.
I'm going to need your strength as well.
Pushing. Should we hold hands?
I'm not ready to hold hands. I mean, to be totally honest, like I'm a ball of like emotions. You know what I mean? Like yes. I'm upset, I'm angry, but I'm gonna do my best to kind of table all that stuff and really kind of paint a picture for what I've experienced over the past 10 years as a retailer from Jeff, and kind of give you the opportunity to really make a decision as what you think is
all of you. He's
you the listeners,
right?
All 2.7 million, 75, 1.21 gigawatts of you.
Well,
to kind of get
before.
Before this one. To kind of get you, give you the ability to kind of make your own opinion on things and see, is one person really in it for the greater good of the cigar industry, or are they really more concerned about their own self-interest, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Very, very well said, Michael.
So, we're going to have to go way back. We're going to have to start
in the Wayback Machine.
Like 10 years ago.
Put the noise in from Wayne's World thing.
Why not? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Why not like some DeLorean, 88 miles an hour type stuff?
Oh, you want a video? I'm really good at inserting green screen things to go the wrong direction.
You can put our heads on a dock.
Oh, that should have been the movie.
It's never too late.
My staff's very busy the rest of the week. I only have them for a brief time on Monday mornings.
So I have some notes just so if I go off course, just in case.
Shall notes.
Yeah. Let me start by saying flat out that I do applaud all the good things that Jeff has done for the cigar industry. I mean, he has been an avid fighter in many fronts for the cigar industry. But again, I kind of backpedal with that statement as well because the fact of the matter is he is it really done for the greater good of the cigar industry? Is it kind of done solely for his personal interest? Right now, back in the day, we were a big Drew Estate store, right?
Yes. Every time.
We there was this group on Facebook. It still exists. It just isn't what it is. I mean, the interwebs always kind of evolve throughout time, right?
Yes.
And 10 years ago, there was this thing called Cats. It was like really brand new. Storm was one of the first guys on there. Vaughn from Deadwood Tobacco.
Storm from Cigars for Warriors.
Storm Bowen, right.
Yeah.
This was before Cigars for Warriors was even a thing.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is way back.
There was a really good guy. His name was Ben Edmondson. He died a few years ago. Man, I miss that guy. He was just like that's the really sad thing about this industry is, you kind of see people go. And he was next level. He was one of those guys that, he was one of the good ones. So Cats really kind of brought a lot of people together. The Crabtrees, I learned who they were from, I believe, Cats, John Crabtree and Tammy.
Yeah.
Love them to pieces. They're they're really close to my heart.
Yeah, it's very nice people.
And one day they had, they were coming up here. Corona does this thing called the Drew Estate, like kind of a Christmas event.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They still do that every year.
Yeah. So
at all their locations.
Yeah. And I think that they started Lake Mary, right?
Yeah, and they worked their way back down.
So one day, John and Tammy came up on a Thursday, or whatever day it was, maybe Wednesday. I honestly don't remember. And we hung out at my shop, and things went really well. Obviously, just shot the shit, smoked some cigars. Back then, I wasn't as super busy as I am now, right?
Right.
So you had time to kill. You get
a little calmer back then.
Yeah, you get to hang out with people. And we were talking about the Drew Estate event over at Corona the next night, and I said, I'll go out there and I'll hang out with you guys. It'll be cool. It'll be one more night together and just kind of bullshit and whatever the case may be. Meet some other people that were coming and stuff like that.
I have no children. I have tons of free time.
Yeah, I had no children.
Right.
Life was good, right? Life's better now.
Life's better now.
So I went up there, right?
Very dry mouth. Very emotional.
Yeah. So I went up there. No cigar hustler gear. I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? I'm never going to fucking...
we don't wear our...
When you go to another shop,
tags or whatever
it's just disrespectful.
Right,
you know what I mean? And I'm not that guy. I never have been. I never would be. If I walked into a store with my shirt, for whatever reason, if it was a cigar hustler shirt that I was wearing, the first thing I'd do is I'd apologize. Say, hey man, I'm really sorry. This was the shirt I was wearing today. Whatever the case may be.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not, I don't know what people are thinking when they do that. I'm going to take some business or whatever the case may be. Or maybe not, man. They're just ignorant to it.
Right.
So I went up there, and I was in my standard black hoodied sweatshirt, right? And Jeff
was your standard clothes from the photos I've seen back then.
Yeah.
The black hoodie.
Yeah. And what's cool about Facebook is it actually has a date, so it can tell you when this went down. So went there, hung out, saw Jeff was there, and he didn't say anything to me. I didn't say anything to him, but unbeknownst to me, he was apparently really pissed off that I was there.
Oh, so he knew who you were.
Yeah.
Somebody had to have pointed you out, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's just, he walked past me a few times, know, but he didn't say anything to me. It wasn't like I was, I don't know. I don't know what the hell. I don't know why he wouldn't say hi.
Right.
Right. But he didn't, and neither did I. But whatever, it was a cool night. We hung out. I was there for a couple hours, whatever, and then went home, right? Mm-hmm. So Saturday, I get a call from my friend Jason Louie. He was the Drew Estate rep back in the day. The guy was one of the best.
Very nice man.
Still my friend to this day.
Yeah.
He's in my fantasy football league. We still bullshit,
Right.
And I think that he didn't get a fair shake, but that's a whole nother story in this industry. So he gives me a call, and he's like, hey, man, I'm going to ash on the floor. The ashtray's really far away today. I'm going to be relighting the shit out of this thing because I know I'm going to be talking a lot.
Right. Anyway, please proceed.
Please proceed.
Please proceed. It's only a
That's okay.
1 hour show.
There's nothing wrong with a little break in the monotony of this whole thing. So Jason calls me. He's like, hey, man, what's going on? I was like, oh, nothing, dude. Just, I don't know, hanging out with my wife and whatever. And he's like, okay, hey, do you plan on going up to Sand Lake today? Because, again, the Drew Estate Christmas party is
right. The progressive thing.
Right. And I said, no, man, I got to hang out with everybody yesterday. And, I think I had a good time. I'm going to take the day.
Right.
I was like, why? What's up? And he's like, well, I was told to tell you that if you were going to go up there, you're going to be trespassed. I'm like, I'm going to be trespassed? From Corona? Wow. I'm like, really? He's like,
how about that?
He's like, yeah, you're going to be trespassed. I'm like, okay. Interesting. Yeah, that's okay. Whatever.
So did you go?
No, I didn't plan on going.
Right, I know you hadn't, but at that point, well, let's go see what happens.
Well, I'm not the same person that I am today as I was back then. Oh, right? Gotcha. You know what I mean?
You were calmer back then?
No, I think that if anything, I was probably easily intimidated. Right? The industry was still kind of new to me.
Right.
I was doing a great job. I was successful in building brands in the store and online, and we were making a big splash, without question.
Well, obviously. Enough to piss off somebody.
Enough to piss off Jeff, apparently.
Right.
Yeah. It's funny because there have been plenty of times where I have had smaller conversations with other people or conversations, but never to this level, and never have I mentioned the guy, flat out.
No. Actually, I was a little surprised when you just said his name.
But yeah, at this point, I don't care.
Don't.
It's important. It's important to kind of speak your truth and really kind of get it out there and let everybody else kind of make their own decision. I mean, you can tell me to go fuck myself. It's fine. It is what it is. But I think that at the end of the day, that's kind of how we got here. Is that we let the big guy in the room.
Enough people bit their tongue and
kind of step on you.
Right.
And now here we are dealing with this huge issue.
Right.
That hasn't really been resolved. So. So that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people kind of chop at the leaves of the situation. But we're gonna pull the root out of this motherfucker.
Oh, here we go.
We're going in. So that was my first kind of interaction with Jeff. Right? It's like, okay, so I'm not.
But still, you never actually spoke to him.
No.
Right.
No.
Did you pee on the floor or something at the first night?
I didn't pee on the floor.
No?
I don't even think I used the bathroom. I know I bought some cigars.
Right.
I know that I carry FSG because I try and support everybody. I try and do the right thing all the time, but sometimes, man, you guys make it fucking hard. I can tell you that much. Now, I had become kind of acquaintances with Jonathan Drew, right? And I say acquaintances because I feel like, John has this great ability to really kind of grab you and make you feel like you're
right.
with
Yeah,
him.
I've heard that about him from other people.
And it's really kind of captivating. And like the guy is just a powerful guy, right? Like you just feel like
very charismatic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Holds a crowd well.
Yeah, and he has that ability, right?
Right.
So one day he called me out of the blue and he said, "Hey, I want to do an event at your shop," because I always wanted John to do an event here.
Well, back then, I mean, he's Elvis Presley.
Right.
So, and still to this day, some people
consider him Elvis.
Right.
Only he's alive.
Elvis of the cigar industry.
Only he's alive, and he's a little bit healthier than Elvis.
Right. Okay.
So, John calls me and he says, "Hey, I want to do an event at your shop." I said, "Okay, cool, dude. Whatever you want."
What
man.
night?
Yeah. And I said,
when are you coming?
He's like, he says, "Well, so what day you want to do it?" I go, "I don't fucking care, man. You tell me what day and I'll make it happen."
So this is the next following year. I mean, this is not
this
chronologically speaking. This is not like the next day.
Yeah, I'm trying my best to stay in chronological order, but it's
I'm
not.
Just giving them the idea that this, because it was, one night you went, next night you got trespassed if you show up.
It wasn't like I went home.
You didn't get the call the next day.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Perspective. Just trying to give the audience some perspective.
Right. So, I didn't think anything more of it. I'm like, okay, well, Jeff's always angry, whatever.
Right. He's angry. I just won't go there.
Right, yeah. Okay, I'll just stay the
three
fuck.
stores I can never go to.
Right, I'll just stay away.
Right.
Right.
Why cause trouble?
Yeah, I don't want to fuck with this guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, who the hell am I? I'm just like this little guy.
Yeah,
I'm a small retailer.
Small retailer in Deltona. He's got all these stores through Orlando.
Right. Big and successful. Right. So John calls me. He says, "Hey, I want to do an event. Blah blah blah. Let's pick the day." And he says, "Okay, I can do it this day." I said, "Okay, done." Hung up the phone. He called me back. He said, "Hey, I can't do that day. We're going to do this day." And I said, "Okay, done." Right.
Whatever you want.
And we had already done a great job as far as social media and really kind of learning that whole thing when it was really new.
Right.
Like it wasn't. It was
probably one of the reasons he wanted to do the event here.
Yeah, I mean, we were having huge success with his product, and I mean, a lot of people's product, but mainly Drew Estate's product.
Right.
And I hung out with him down in South Florida. Met him at Kiki Burge's place. Rest in peace, Kiki Burge, another great guy that's dead. So we go to do this event, and we fucking kill it, man. It was to this day, within 10 years of being in this industry, it was still the biggest event I have ever done.
Right, yeah. No,
Huge.
I've heard stories from more than just you and Greg.
Yeah, I mean, the guy just kind of posted up. John just posted behind the counter. There's always the line. It's really kind of funny. Really kind of remarkable because he'll sit there and bullshit with you for like 20, 30 minutes, and people will wait in one line just to talk to him. Oof. But like he'll remember, which is really kind of crazy.
Yeah, I've heard that about him, right?
So he'll have that conversation, and then he'll say, "Oh yeah," like he'll remember if he talked with you before, if he had contact with you on Facebook.
How'd your dog turn out? Is your dog okay?
I mean, just absolutely insane. Very powerful, very captivating. Right. Event goes fucking great. Right. Jeff catches wind of it. Right.
Oh, I'm sure.
So and I'm pretty sure that I'm not 100% on this, but I'm pretty sure that Fabian took the fucking hit on this, which is really kind of fucked up. So John finds out.
Beginning of the end for Fabian.
So John doesn't realize how close we are, And now we're 2 counties apart as far as Lake Mary, Corona, which is the furthest location of Corona Cigars.
Right, furthest east.
Yeah, he's in Seminole County, and I'm in Volusia. Right. So it's a solid 10 miles, maybe more.
Yeah, at least.
Something like that.
You got to cross a bridge. There's a water barrier.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You have to speak to Hank when you get off the exit. I mean, there's a whole process.
Hank.
Yeah. So
border guard.
Border guard. So so John says, hey, am I really? Were we? I guess he reaches out to the people and said, Fabian said, were we really close to Corona when we just did this event? And Fabian's like, well, yeah. I mean,
there's no way Jonathan knows logistically where he is.
Right. Well, maybe I don't know. Because
he knows he's in Deltona.
Because John has always told me to go east as far as business. As far as being a retailer, he knows for me to. He always try and push me to stay away from Jeff.
Well, I'm sure.
Go east. Go to Daytona. You're gonna go east, right? I'm like, yeah, because I originally wanted to make more than one of these things, right?
Oh yeah, no, there'd be no reason to go the other direction.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, he had to know somewhat that he was gonna piss off Jeff. Right.
He might not have understood how close you are to the Lake Mary location.
Right. Yeah. So Herrera Esteli's about to drop, like the original.
Okay.
And it's a dope cigar. I got to try one. I remember meeting John and at his office and trying the Feral Pig when it just had FFP was a test blend. It was fucking amazing. Like that type of shit. It was really cool shit. Herrera Esteli's about to drop, and I'm supposed to get it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I don't get it. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why can't I have it? Like I'm doing really well here.
I'm doing well. I'm moving your stuff.
Like I'm not selling Liga Privada. Anybody can sell Liga Privada, especially back then. Right. Super easy to sell, without question. I'm selling fucking undercrowns, a ton of undercrowns. Like I would say more than our favorite retailer, your best retailer, Abe at the time.
Oh.
And that guy is a fucking monster.
He's the best.
He is the best.
Did a big video today.
Did he?
Yes.
You're just swooning over him, man.
He's very nice.
He really is. I gotta get. I always
very approachable. He's very nice.
I always try and give that guy credit.
Yeah. He's the opposite of what we're talking about.
In our experiences, he really is.
Yes.
Like when I have ever had an issue, and I had to run something across Abe instantly picks up the phone and calls me.
Right.
Out of the fucking blue. I mean, that just recently happened.
Right.
So all of a sudden I'm having an issue getting a hold of product, and I can't figure out what the fuck's going on. Herrera Esteli's off the top. Unicos, can't really get them. I can't get access to a lot, like everything that I could have access to before is all of a sudden limited. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
Well, I found out that there was a back and forth via email kind of exchange, and that one Jeff B was very upset about the whole fucking debauchery in the event.
Right.
And now, go ahead.
I was going to say allegedly. I mean, there's no actual proof.
Yeah.
And,
that was what people told me.
He's big on saying, well, there's no proof.
Well, the problem with what he does and what he did with the whole Skip Martin thing is like he takes half truths, right? Like he takes a snippet of an email.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying by any means what you said did not happen.
Right.
I fully believe what you said happened.
Right.
I'm just saying what's.
Yeah, and that's true. That's 100% true. I can't back this 100%. Right. I can only tell you exactly what has happened to me, and
your personal experiences
over the course of 10
years.
years. But I'm going to help paint a further picture for you. Don't worry as we're moving forward.
Yes. No.
So, I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I'm heartbroken at this point, right? Like, I'm affected, emotionally affected by this. The fact that, like, I fucking worked my ass off for, a few years here.
Right.
Built this brand huge in the store and online, and I'm killing it. And then, like, the spigot's kind of turned off. It's like, fuck this guy. I'm like, holy shit. And this is the problem that a lot of people have when it comes to right-wing versus left-wing views, right? When you get to an extremity of it's no longer capitalism, it's fucking taking advantage, it's nepotism, and you're stepping on the neck of smaller retailers and your competition because you don't want to see them succeed, it's kind of atrocious, right? So, anyways, moving on. The whole Drew Estate thing really kind of really upset. I mean, it took a while to figure out what the fuck was going on, right? Along the way, I met Roma Craft, I met Skip, I met Mike, and And I said, I started building their brand in the store, and it started doing really, really well.
Right.
And I approached Skip at the time, and Skip's factory wasn't at capacity, right? He wasn't cranking out 1.2 million.
1.2 million
right.
cigar show. Everybody knows the number.
So, everybody does know the number.
1.2 million cigars.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it. So,
as many as I
I said, hey, so I went down to Nicaragua, and I said, hey, man, I really want to make a cigar. And he's like, sure, no problem. He showed me tobacco. He explained everything to me. He said, listen, I'm going to throw you in the water, but I'm not going to let you drown. I'm going to make sure you have the little waders. I want you to get this experience. I made a Habano cigar originally. It was fucking terrible. And they have great tobacco at the factory.
Right.
It just tasted like Habano. It was Habano wrapper, Habano bind. Like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I'm like, let's just do this, right?
And
this
is my favorite flavor.
Like,
Put all these together.
this is a little rough, right? So then I kept refining it, and by the end of the day, I had the Postaña cigar. I had the Habano.
Going, no, Mike.
Esteban, no,
Mike.
No, that's very stupid.
No bueno. El stupido.
So, I went down there with the intention of creating something that Jeff couldn't touch. That's why Postaña was built. I wanted a cigar because I have already had that experience that, hey,
right, somebody took something away.
Right,
that
it's
you had no control over.
Right, when somebody has that kind of power, it's so easy for them to just rip it right out from you, out from under you, no matter how much respect you have. Now, I'm gonna continue to say that there's been other incidences as well. That's why I'm gonna help paint this full picture, right? And you let me know when we got to take a break.
I will,
because I know we're getting close.
22.
So, Drew Estate's a complete fucking mess. I have my own cigar, right? And I'm fucking happy. Like, I don't even want to sell it. I'm not even trying to sell it to anybody.
Right.
Like, I wanted something in my store that other people couldn't tell me to go fuck myself and hurt me, right? My brother makes the broadleaf. I make the Habano. We do a whole sampler thing. The Habano wins, but not by much. Broadleaf, like everybody kind of knows that story, right?
Right.
A couple of friends that are close retailer friends of mine, about 14 people, 14 shops, say, hey, we really want to carry the cigar. We carry the cigar. We give it to them. And then we kind of built from there, which, wasn't really what I envisioned. But, hey, I'll fucking take it, man. I'm totally grateful for the opportunity that retailers have provided me in carrying our product.
Right.
Now, you fast forward a couple of years, and there's this guy by the name of Steve Saka. You know who Steve Saka is?
He invented cigars, I hear.
I heard he did.
Right.
He's him, and then Al Gore also created the internet.
Right, together.
Right. So I go to I'm not wholesaling products, so I'm still a retailer. I go to the IPCPR at the time, and I go and see Steve Saka, right? And I'm excited to see that
he's Dunbarton at this time.
He's Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. This is his first IPCPR show representing
himself.
Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. Gotcha. He's got the little leather couch, like the little casting couch.
2014?
I don't know. Yeah, probably something like that.
Yeah.
So I go to see Steve Saka, and this should be interesting. I'll let you know if our account's closed with him after this whole fucking thing.
Just so he's backed the other side.
I know he has.
Okay.
I know he has.
All right.
So,
is this a long story? Should we break here a couple of minutes early?
We'll get going and then we'll break.
I didn't want you to lose your train of thought.
That's okay. So, it's really not that hard for me to continue with the story because I've fucking lived it.
Right.
So I go to see Steve Saka, and I'm like, hey man, how you doing? I'm like, cigar hustler and blah blah blah. I'm like, okay. He's like, I'm like, do you have any cigars for me to smoke? Because if you're a fucking experienced weasel at the IPCPR, you want to smoke the cigars.
Oh, you score big.
Right. Now, Stevie didn't have shit.
Oh.
I could tell you that he had AWS. He had Liga Privadas in his little bin, like the L40s, and he had the BA AWSs in there. And I think he maybe in the ECs in his little
travel humidor thing.
He was sneaky humidor.
Right.
So I was eyeballing that shit.
This is what I smoke.
Trying to get some cigars. And I'm like, hey man, interested in carrying your product, really excited about it, blah 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 blah. He's like, okay, so what are you thinking about doing? I was like, well, I don't want to, I'm not looking to go crazy because you don't have anything for me to try.
Right.
I want to do kind of like 2 across the board. Wrote down my order, 22222, blah 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 blah, and give my credit card information, my tobacco license. That's one thing I can kind of really credit to my brother is he's got his shit together. When
your brother's in the back figuring, going, this is going to come.
Right, right, and he's the guy that has all the documentation.
Right, yeah, right.
Like, you need the tobacco license, boom, resale. Like he's on it, you know. So I'm like, all right, well, this, obviously Steve Saka's a big deal. We want to carry his product, give it a try, blah, blah, blah. So I do 2 across the board. And Steve's like, hey, all right, I really appreciate you, you taking, giving us a shot and, working things out. I'm going to put a star on your order. I'm like, okay, now I feel special.
It's a gold star.
So I had 2 questions for Steve at the time because he went out to Half Wheel, and one thing was that he totally gave out his complete blend to Half Wheel.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, which was kind of a bold move, especially at that
kind
time.
Of unheard of.
Right. So, I said, hey, man, I just got a couple questions before you go. I know you're super busy. I'm like, for one, you gave out your whole blend on to Half Wheel. I'm like, why'd you do that? And his answer was great.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I feel like when you go to make a pasta or a meatball in a different kitchen, it's always going to taste different. So it doesn't matter what the ingredients are.
Oh,
I'm like, okay,
that's a good
like
point.
that's an honest statement.
Right.
So now at this point I'm a little more versed and I understand tobacco a little bit more. Now I understand it a little bit, and I still to this day understand it a little bit. And I'm not going to be by fucking any means one of those douchebags is going to tell you that I'm a master blender, because I'm not.
Right.
Without question, I wouldn't be who I am without having the friends that I have.
Surrounded by champions.
Yes. So I said to him, hey, look, man, I had a question. I looked at your blend, and it looks like you have Condega and Pueblo Nuevo in this one particular cigar. What is the purpose of having both of those leaves? Because to me, I've tasted them both separately,
right,
and they both taste fucking similar.
Right.
Like really, really close. Right. So why would you put them both in the leaf? And then, that's when I got the Steve Saka of like,
okay, why don't we stop right here then? They got to come back after the break to find out.
Let me just finish this one part.
Well, I wanted you to give the answer after the break.
All right, okay.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, we're back. This is episode 145 of the last show of Cigar Hustler Podcast.
Hey.
Okay, where we left off, you had just sat down with Mr. Saka, placed an order, and you went, hey, why do you have Condega and what's the other one you said? Pueblo Nuevo.
Yo, this is like NWA, man. What's up, Dre? I got something to say. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine. You can say anything you want. It's your show. I mean,
it's actually your show.
Well, it
so
will be
so don't close Palmer's show.
It will be tomorrow.
So
anyway.
I said, hey, what's it, why would you do that? And then that was when you got the kind of Steve Saka, the diatribe of, I don't even know why I'm trying to smoke this. It's not even going to make sense. Of hey, Condega's in this region, Pueblo Nuevo's in this region, and it was really kind of long. And I'm like, okay, all right. Okay. I feel like we went. I feel like we kind of stepped backwards on that. Right. I like the first answer that you gave me. It felt real, but whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool, man. Hey, I hope you have a great show. Here's my order. And then Steve says to me, and then Steve looks at me and he says, hey, I just want you to know something before you go. I said, okay, what's up? I'll sell to anybody. And I kind of laugh. I'm like, okay.
Okay, thanks.
All right. And he's like, no, I want you to understand. My competition is right on the shelf next to me. So I have no problem with your competition being right across the street. I was like, are you okay? And he said to me flat, are you okay with that? I said, yeah, man, I am okay with that, dude. I really appreciate your honesty. Thank you so much for saying that to me. You know, that's fucking, because ripping the Band-Aid off of that statement is huge. That's a fucking statement.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like, hey, you're going to pussyfoot around and I'm not going to sell this guy because this guy's feelings are going to be hurt or anything like that, and whatever the case may be. And I've actually done that to somebody in the past and I've totally fucking regret it. And I've since made up for that with Cordova Morelos.
I thought that's where that was. Yeah.
So Saka, order's done. We'll go to the show. Blah blah blah. Have a good day. Blah 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 blah. Steve calls me when I get back, a week later at the store, and it says fucking Steve Saka on the store line. And this is when I was working the register.
Gotcha.
Right. So I'm working a shift, and it says Steve Saka.
Probably those same phones we have.
It is definitely the same phones, without question.
Right.
The same phones.
The cordless phones from the 80s.
We've replaced the batteries a couple times. Struggle's real in retail.
That's right.
So Steve calls and says, hey, is Mike there? And I go, hey, Mike, it's Steve. I go, hey, Steve, this is Mike. What's up, brother? And he's like, no, hey, this is Steve. And I said, yeah, Steve, what's going on? I can't fucking forget this because it's the funniest thing that ever happened.
Right.
He's like, I'm like, hey, Steve, it's Mike. What's up, man? He's like, oh, no, it's Steve Saka. And I start laughing. I'm like, yeah, I know, man. What's up, bro?
Your name on the phone.
It says Steve Saka on the phone. And he's like, you're not going to laugh in a second. I said, what's up, bro? And he goes, hey, well, I can't sell to you.
Oh.
I said, you can't sell to me. Why? Okay.
You said you could sell.
And he's like, so at this point,
I'm the star.
Yeah, but at this point, my skin is starting to thicken.
Right.
Right. I mean, at this point, my skin started thinking where I'm putting the shit on video, which is really, really crazy. So I say it is. It really is.
This will be out there
so I say to Steve, I'm like, okay.
They'll be playing this in court.
He's like, hey, listen, Corona wants exclusivity in Central Florida, and I can't sell to you. I said, okay, man, that's fine. And he's like, are you mad? And I said, Steve, no, I'm not mad, man. You made a business decision,
right?
Right. Like, you feel that is the best way to uphold your business, right? And okay, like, I'm not mad. Like, I didn't, whatever. My order was fucking minuscule. It was like what, $1,500 or some shit, $2,000, whatever. If that's how you felt, that's how you felt. So he's like, okay. Now, so fast forward another year, we're at IBCPR, and then I run into Steve again. He's like, hey, I'm really, really sorry about the whole thing. I made a mistake. I really want you to come by the booth, and we'll, I'll get you some cigars, and we'll.
So is this the following year or a couple
years?
following year?
The following year, I believe so.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. And now at this point, I'm like, man, fuck this shit. I ain't going. You know what I mean?
I ain't
like
carrying his shit now.
Like, he doesn't want to fuck. He didn't want to do business with me. Like, I don't want to do business with him. And then like. That was my emotional response, right? And then, like, as the week kind of waned, and like, like the more and more I thought about, look, man, I ain't here to fucking be emotional, right? I ain't here, like, if I think he's got a great product,
I'm gonna carry it.
I want people to know that he has a great product, no matter what the fuck I think of Steve, right?
Right.
Like, because that's just that. There's a huge divide there. Like that. It doesn't fucking make sense, right? Like, he could be the worst person on the planet. I could say, but he's gonna make a fucking great cigar, and you should probably try it, right? So as the week went by, I'm like, you know what, fuck it, let's go. So I fucking grab everybody I can. I ain't fucking going by myself, man. I'm not going.
This has to be almost 2017. I'm thinking.
Probably, yeah. So I'm bringing a whole fucking squad, right?
Who all did you take?
At this point, Esteban's son.
Oh.
Victor Nicholas, who was Shogui Cigars at the time.
So this is 17.
Like I don't know. There was probably 5 of us, right? Like I'm bringing an entourage.
Hunt.
Yeah, Matt Hunt, like all of it,
right?
Just so I can feel better about myself, I guess. I don't know, So
were you playing the Beat It sound as you're walking across, like the scene from the Jets?
So we fucking roll up, right? We go in, we had like a coordinated dance as we were arriving.
Did you get one? It was
we get there. Say, hey, Steve, how are you? Who's in the booth? Corona's in the booth.
Oh. And
Steve looks at me and he says, hey, man, I'm really sorry.
No.
Can you come back? And I was like, fuck, man.
What?
No. I was like, yeah, he's like, here's some cigars, and he was very nice.
Right.
But here we are again with the same scenario, right?
Right.
And I'm like, okay, man, it's cool, whatever. I
understand.
Against my initial judgment, I sucked it up. I came back, and I'm like, you know what, fuck it, this ain't working. It ain't gonna happen.
Right.
It's just not the fit. And what's really great about IPCPR for me is I really get a fucking good punch in the fucking face almost annually. It's the most humbling experience for me.
Right.
Somebody usually tells me to go fuck myself, and I'm just like, what in the hell am I doing? So that was my present for that year. So I went home. And then Steve comes up to the shop, and that was when we did the podcast.
Right.
So whenever that date is,
that's like in 2018.
So I at this point, Steve and I still aren't we're not on the same level, right?
Right. Yeah.
I'm telling Palmer, I said, hey, Steve Saka's coming through. Now he knows about all this bullshit, and I'm like, Steve Saka's coming to the shop. I'm like, we're doing a fucking podcast with Steve, and this is when we're fucking new. And he's like, and Palmer, you were like.
Well, the air conditioner was broke.
Both ACs. We have 2 ACs here.
Right.
They're both fucking broken.
This room was like a sauna back here.
Right. So Steve Saka just sweats just to sweat. Imagine putting him in a room with it was like the middle of the summer. It's like 110 fucking degrees.
3
in
guys
here.
smoking and no ventilation.
It was amazing. So I'm like, we're doing this shit. Fuck the
Steve
bullshit.
is on the other side here somewhere.
Right. So he comes up and we start talking. He's like, man, why the fuck does Jeff hate you so much? I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. I had to deal with this shit with Drew Estate. I've had to deal with this shit with other companies, which is kind of questionable, which I'm about to bring up next. I don't know. He's like, look, he gave me like 3 or 4 boxes of cigars. I rolled him for a unicorn.
Two. You hit him for
2 unicorns.
You and Greg both got one.
That cigar has never tasted better. That was an amazing cigar. It really was. On top of the fact that it really is, I think, is good tobacco and it tastes really good. I fucking, he gave it to me, so that made it just all the more sweet.
Right.
When he was like, man, why the fuck does Jeff hate you so much? I'm like, dude, you're friends with him. Ask him. Ask him why the fuck he hates me.
I wonder if they've had that conversation.
I've asked Steve. I'm like, have you spoken to Jeff? He's like, no.
No.
And I let it go after that.
Right, yeah.
Like that was a year or 2 ago. I'm like, well, okay, whatever. So, here I am, a small business, and now I'm having experiences where this guy's going out of his way to slow me down. Right?
Right.
We were an Opus X account for as long as I can fucking remember. There was this really cool guy, an old school rep, and this was before I was here. My brother was. This place couldn't afford anybody. So like the first year or 2 of us being open, I moved back down to South Florida.
Right. Yeah.
And then I would come up every week, just fucking grind, man. Just sell. I was building this website. My brother thought I was insane. The whole fucking shebang.
Still the original website.
Still the original. To this day, still the original. We're never going to change.
Held together with bubblegum and duct tape.
I can't get shit updated on it, but whatever. Hey, man, Adam Akery says never change it. He's like, I know at this point.
He probably did it with his eyes shut.
He's like, it was cumbersome and confusing, and now you can never change it.
You can never change it. I know where everything is. It's just click, 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 bye.
And until Adam says, hey, he's ready to make that change, I'm not making the change, God damn it. I don't know where I was going with that. So,
it was very hard to put the over 18 thing on the top, or the 21, whatever.
Right. No. So
the age verification thing.
Right. Oh yeah, that was a pain in the ass. Yeah.
Weeks.
So my brother is good friends with the older guy. I think his name was Alan. I really want to say, and he was like this old school Arturo Fuente account guy. Right.
Alan, yeah.
And he could do whatever the fuck he wanted. Like he was like a ranger, like a military guy.
Yeah.
And, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. My brother's like, hey, man, people keep asking me about this Opus X cigar.
I don't know what it is, but we should carry it.
Can we get that? And this guy was like, yeah, you're an account. Yeah. So, like, that was the kind of weight this guy had.
Right.
A few years ago, all of a sudden, we don't, I guess we've never really met the numbers to be an Opus X account. So now we're no longer an Opus X account.
Right.
So, I mean, that's also kind of ironic that all of a sudden there were these rules that came in and now all of a sudden, boom, we're not, you know. Kind of fucking crazy, So I'm doing everything I can. John Olive is an amazing rep. He's, we always said top 3.
Right, yeah. Very nice man.
Yeah, and we're doing everything we can to boost our sales so that we can reach that Opus X account. I think that if we reach that number, honestly, it's not going to matter. We're never going to be an Opus X account again.
We've changed the number, guys. We're sorry, but it's gone up just a little bit.
Oh, we just moved the field goal. I mean, I hope that that's not the case with Arturo Fuente. I mean, but the really shitty part is that I know that there are exceptions to that rule. They exist. I've seen them.
There are exceptions to every rule.
And they don't achieve the numbers that they're supposed to achieve in their Opus X accounts, just like I was. And, here I am once again dealing with some bullshit that might be related to this whole Jeff hates Mike thing. Well, actually, Jeff hates small businesses as far as cigar retailers that are his competition, right? Now we got to get into some of the little more nitty-gritty shit, right? Now, Skip's integrity was attacked as far as, he's made some statements saying, hey, I every time that Jeff came by, or maybe not even Jeff, some of the guys from Corona or whatever, I know that statements were said that, hey, like, I got to talk to Cigar House and make sure they're good to, that they're okay before I open you up for a Roma Craft account. Now, I wasn't sitting there at the table. I don't know exactly who was there, but I can tell you this, that once the people left, Skip came right up to me. Yeah. And he said, hey, I just told them, hey, look, we're not going to open you up unless Cigar Hustler says it's okay. Skip has never fucking lied to me. Not once. Not even not even in a joking manner has he fucking lied to me. Like, he's very vocal. He has his own opinions. I was going to say,
the way he is, it just wouldn't work for him.
Right. So, for a snippet of an email of a conversation back and forth and whatever timeline that happened, to say that this is how things went down, of course Skip was respectful to Jeff. Skip's going to be respectful to everybody until you give him a reason not to be.
Right. Might need a bigger bottle.
And I get that he's emotionally charged and sometimes he says things that you probably shouldn't, as we all do, because we're all fucking human. Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
But there are some things that you can't really say and accusations that you can't make towards people that really kind of crosses the line, right?
Right.
So this is where we make a phone call. Just to further kind of back my story here.
We pause one moment when we make a phone call.
Please hold.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh.
Oh, you turned up the volume. You there?
Hello?
Hey.
Hello, Matul.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's so loud.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Turning him up.
Oh, well, turning him up turns everything up, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, so, hey, Matul. How are you?
What's up, Mike?
Hey, so just so that everybody knows who we're talking to, do you want to go ahead and state your name and tell everybody who you are exactly? You know that you're a retailer and a brand owner as well.
Of course. My name is Matul Shah. I own 2 cigar shops in New York. One called Mom Cigars in Scarsdale, New York, and one called Dad Cigar Warehouse in Nanuet, New York. I also own a brand called Fable Cigars, and that's made at the Nica Sueño factory with the same company that makes all the Roma Craft cigars and your cigars.
Right. Postania, the best cigar on the planet, right?
Yeah, sure.
Well, second.
Exactly.
Second best as far as Matul's concerned.
concerned.
Right. So, obviously we're having a conversation here about Jeff, and, it's really important to me that people kind of understand some of the things that have happened to all of us and some of our experiences that we've had with Jeff and Corona Cigars. So, unfortunately, I hate to kind of drag you into this, but you had a tremendously bad experience with Jeff. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, basically, yes.
So,
yeah, pretty much I had a bad experience with it.
So I know that it takes a lot of courage to do what you're doing, man. And, I applaud it, and I really appreciate you getting on the show, Let me start off by saying that to you. So, what the hell? So what went down, man? What exactly? What happened?
Well, so I mean, people out there that know my brand, I only make one line of cigars called Fourth Prime, and the Fourth Prime brand. So Fable Cigars has one logo that has like the F and the C that look like a flame that people kind of associate with, right?
Right.
Our brand with, and then the Fourth Prime brand is basically a triangle that I came up with. I actually wanted it to be a P,
right,
to represent Prime. But in the same time, I didn't want to kind of have it look like other brands that have like a P logo.
Right.
So I laid it on its side.
Yeah, at that time, Protocol was just coming out, right? Juan Cancel's cigar, and you want to kind of differentiate yourself.
Yeah, it would have looked like that the other direction.
Right.
Yeah. So I basically had a whole story made up with the brand of like the sevens, 7 different sizes having to do with sevens. So I graduated in movie visual effects and graphic design. So I pretty much made up a logo that represented that one line, and it was a triangle with 7 branches. So I basically came out with that logo, and that was the logo that represented the Fourth Prime brand. So anyways, but long story short, Jeff, pretty much one day I wake up, I come to the store, and I get like 30 different missed calls and text messages and, phone calls from industry reps, and they're like, hey, did you just see Jeff's personal Facebook page? He just kind of put your brand on blast for having a logo that's similar to that of a pedophile. And I'm like, what?
Wow.
And then I went and looked, and and lo and behold, he pretty much told he basically said, and if anybody carries this brand on their shelf, they shouldn't carry it on their shelf because that one, logo represents, what do you call it? The same
pedophilia
symbol on the FBI. Yeah, the same symbol on the FBI webpage that, represents pedophilia. And I'm like, well, first of all, it's totally different. It's got 7 branches. It's, the opposite direction. And it's a triangle, so many different brands have a triangle logo. So what, every single triangle logo out there represents a pedophile, or something like that.
Right. So we can't have triangles.
Right. So, and there was, hundreds, if not, so many different comments on that. And Skip Martin was one of the guys that was defending me.
Right.
And he was saying, there's so many logos out there, and can't, tell Matul that, he, like, first of all, here's the problem though, right? I don't even know Jeff.
Right.
I've never met Jeff. I've never talked to Jeff.
That's what I was going to ask. You had no interaction with him before this.
No,
right.
I've never met him. I've never, had a conversation with him.
Right.
Even
completely out of the blue.
I've never even like ran into him.
Right.
So for him to kind of, put that out there about someone's brand is one thing, but to put that out there about some person,
right.
that, in my opinion, was just, like straight out, just like wrong.
That's some next level shit.
Yeah, and if he would have just, and he's a pretty big power in this industry, so for him to just pick up the call, like pick up the phone and call a few industry people and say, hey, do you guys know who this brand is is owned by?
Right.
Or do you know who the owner is? Do you know who Matul is? It would have taken him less than 5 minutes to do that.
Right.
So. And if not, if you still had a doubt, because my reputation in the industry is very good.
Yeah, no shit.
I take care of people. I always treat people with respect.
Mm-hmm.
And I never, I've never had anybody ever had anything wrong or bad to say about me. So
right.
And that goes, that goes hand in hand with every one of my customers, as well as the industry reps and industry company owners and stuff like that.
Right.
So. For him to do that, it was just, in my opinion, wrong. I wanted to mention something on that thread, but I pretty much took, legal advice, and I called my lawyer and I said, hey, this just happened.
Right.
I took screen captures and I sent it to him, and he's like, yeah, this is wrong. And
right, that's slander.
Luckily the lawyer that I use had actually, known who Jeff is and had represented him before in certain things. So he said, listen, I know Jeff, let me call him and let me tell him to take this, this post down. And
right.
He did that, and within seconds he had to take it down. But then it didn't stop him from, having conversations about it and, have, like talks about it on
right.
other people's posts, So that's pretty much where everything happened with me and him.
Right. Okay. So just to get some clarity, you're married, right?
Yeah, I'm married. I have two beautiful boys.
You have kids?
One 6-year-old, one 3-year-old.
Right.
So it's just like that. That's the other thing. Like, you don't even know that I'm a family man. You
right.
don't know anything about me.
So that statement is pretty atrocious for anybody to say about anybody, right? I mean, just to kind of throw it out there, lob it out there like it's fucking nothing is really kind of unheard of, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
and listen, like if you have an issue with me personally,
right,
for whatever reason, call me up and talk to me, and man to man, we can have a human conversation. Right. But to go on your personal forum, on a public forum, and say something about somebody that you don't even know,
right,
that's just, in my opinion, like outright wrong.
So and I know that we kind of had a conversation earlier today. I know that you were a little nervous about coming on. You didn't want to really kind of speak your whole truth, and I really do admire you for coming out and saying all those things.
Well, yeah, it wasn't nervousness. It was just basically, like we've had these people, like, besides Jeff was the most public
right.
figure that kind of went after us with that, with that association, with
right.
that logo.
So there's a lot of people with tinfoil hats, is what you're saying?
Yeah, there were other trolls out there that were like, oh, well, we shouldn't smoke this cigar, blah, 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 this and that. I'm like, listen, if you don't want to smoke it, it's okay. I'll smoke
right.
all of them,
Right.
It's not a big problem, but, so I've had other people come out there and say that, and, I never changed the logo because that's not what I meant for it.
Right.
It was a
never in a million years
logo.
Would you intend it to mean
Hell
that.
No. And then some people even ask me, oh, well, you didn't do any research. I'm like, seriously, who has the time?
Let's look up triangles. What?
Yeah, like while
right.
running businesses, while having a family with 2 kids, and trying to create a brand, go out there and search the
even think that we'll see what a pedophile logos are.
Right. I mean, hey, listen, the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu fucking company their logo's a triangle. I would love for somebody to go call them pedophiles. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So
that shit would hurt.
Someone even asked me, like, one time, or on a post somewhere, someone was like, oh, well, you didn't hire an advertising firm to go or some firm to go look into your logo. I'm like, seriously, you have that kind of money?
No, I took a P. I took a P and I moved it and I turned it into a shape. Like, come on, man.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I don't want to keep you too much longer. I know that you're running the New York fucking megalodon over there of the cigar industry. But I did want to, I told you before on the phone privately that I wanted to apologize to you, and I want to publicly apologize to you as well. I really am sorry that when this happened and when this came out, I wasn't vocal enough to you and to everybody else and really kind of backed you and protected you. I told you it was fucked up. I told you it was wrong.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
But I definitely owe you that apology, and I really do. I really am sorry that I didn't do enough for you.
No, I appreciate it, brother. And listen, like I said, at the end of the day, I took the high ground. I could have gone, I could have gone batshit crazy on the post and said whatever I needed to say, but I didn't. I took the high ground, and I just, contacted my lawyer and said, hey, what should I do? He said, don't comment anything. Let me talk to him. And right away, within seconds, he had to take it down.
Right. And just one more thing before I let you go, just so that people understand, who handles the distribution for your cigar?
You do.
No shit. I handle the distribution for your cigar? Son of a bitch.
You do. I wish you would sell more.
Wow. God damn it, man. Isn't that crazy? Right? Son of a bitch. Well, hey, I sell a lot in this store. Store.
Yeah, that's true. You do sell a lot in the store.
Right.
Well, anybody out there, the best cigar that's made that Mike
represents
is my brand. Is my brand. Fable Cigars, not Posania.
All right. Well, thank you very much, dude. I appreciate the time, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, guys.
All right, brother.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Son of a bitch.
Wow.
I handle the distribution for that cigar.
So it's connected to you.
Who the fuck thought that?
So
it's so fucking crazy. What's even kind of crazy is like Executive Cigars opened up over in Sanford.
Correct.
Now, you can vouch for this, right?
Yeah.
Have there been people, sales reps and brokers that have come into the store and said, I won't fucking go to that shop?
Right. They say they can't go.
Why the fuck won't they go there?
They say it is known that Jeff does not like people to go there.
Holy shit.
Industry people to go.
So as a cigar smoker, you think that you would want or even as a small retailer, you'd want access to
and it's not tremendously close. It's
like it's a fucking cigar
further,
bar.
Just
like,
as far away as we are.
Like, how are you going to be gangbusters? Like, going to suck the life out of a business? Like, if you do something different, if you're really good at your business, then you wouldn't be worried about competition, right?
Correct.
I mean, that would make the most sense.
Exactly.
Okay. Just wanted to get clarity on that.
I mean, I was told that statement last week, so it's not like
I was like, oh, I won't go there.
Yeah. Because I generally ask when they come in.
Right.
Hey, do you go to Executive?
Hey,
over
check
at
out
Sanford?
Executive? No.
No, I can't.
Have we ever fucking stopped any retailer from walking in the store?
No, I go to Executive.
Right? Exactly.
I mean, we went to an Espinosa event there.
Fuck, I went to Jeff's place before I thought it was a problem.
Yeah, well, I used to too. I mean,
son of a bitch. Okay, so all right, so now we have somebody being called a pedophile. Openly on Facebook that required legal action in purpose to fucking thing. Now, I go on and I make that statement as well just to kind of make this statement that maybe Skip did say some shit that was, emotionally attached in his post, right? Maybe
I don't think he made any personal attacks.
But did he really, was any of it tremendously vicious?
No.
Not at all.
His comments are more towards the political backer or the political candidate that they back.
He did say one thing about Tanya. He did say one thing about a manager, but none of it was really over the top.
No.
Right.
And nothing. He spoke on very highly of them in his original statement.
Right. So
how thrilled he was to get the business originally.
Right.
Yeah.
So the post that I have here was from Tanya, Jeff's wife. And the statement at the end of it is, referencing, talking to Skip, because Skip's name is attached to the bottom.
This is a direct quote from...
Yeah. And who the hell are you to say people have no integrity because they choose to use their vote differently than you? I'd rather support a man who is interested in grown women than one who sniffs around underage girls. And I'm not talking about our political leaders. Shake my head. Holy fucking shit.
So
we just tossed the fucking pedophile term out to fucking everybody who we disagree with now? Is that
apparently?
Because Skip's a family man. Last time I checked,
yes,
he's got 3 daughters.
He's very open about that. Yeah, I mean,
right.
Fiorella is 80% of his post.
Right.
I mean,
Fiorella does what she wants.
Fiorella sits where she wants. Fiorella does what she wants.
Right.
Fiorella is inspecting the packages.
Right. So to come out and kind of make that statement about somebody more than once,
right,
is kind of vile.
Well, he makes your cigars.
Son of a bitch, he does.
Comes back to you.
He does make my
We
cigars.
should all just distance ourselves from you, apparently.
Maybe you should.
You know.
What the fuck? I mean, what are they going to do? Fuck with our pots and pans, Mike?
Right, what are they going to take our microphones?
Right. So
we're going to change that to what are they going to do? Take our microphones?
So, I mean, that's pretty much all I got to say about the whole thing. I mean, I've pretty much covered the majority of it.
All right, well, we need to break again.
Are we running close?
I hate to keep doing
it. I just want to say that I have officially exorcised the demon. This house is clear. So, yeah, we can take a break. Do you want to
take a break? We'll come back. We'll just wrap things up. And
you want to do a little news?
We can do some.
We do some light news. We got to end this on a light note.
Oh, well, there you go then. Okay, we'll do some news.
All right.
Okay, we'll be right back. All right, it's part 3 of episode 145 of the last show of Cigar House.
So before we end this and we move on to the news, I just want to simply state that, before you jump the gun and you pick a side because somebody agrees with your political views and the other guy doesn't, I mean, maybe it's better off that you just don't fucking pick a side. Just let them fucking fight. Let them work out their shit.
Politics. Everyone lighten up.
Holy shit. What the fuck, man? We'd all be better off if we all kind of work together. There's no need.
In the dumper. There's been a pandemic. I mean,
cats and dogs need to live together again.
Right. No frogs falling from the sky.
I mean, can't we all just get along? Where's the love? Where's the love, Jeff? It's definitely not here. I'll tell you that much. But hey, so there you go. There's my story. There's 10 years of my life in a fucking nutshell, and you kind of be the judge if you think that things are okay or not okay, and I
do want to bring up. No one has touched this story except us. I mean,
fear.
Well, obviously he sponsors a couple other podcasts, so they're obviously not going to say anything one way or the other.
Well, I think Dojo covered it a little bit, maybe. Or they made a threat of like not to carry Roma anymore.
Oh, did they? I didn't even. Wow.
Like I have never gone into a grocery store, looked at a steak, and said, "You know what? I wonder what the butcher's political fucking views are on this thing," because. If he doesn't agree with me,
analogy that is.
I'm never gonna fucking buy that steak.
Buy when Dixie meet again.
Like what the fuck? How did we get here, man? How the fuck did we get here?
I think Coop might cover it. I mean, he's got no. I mean, yes, he's an industry show, and everybody knows who he is, but I don't think he's sponsored by them though.
Yeah, well,
I don't think so.
Hey, everybody chooses to live their own path.
Listen, Jeff will never come on his show again.
Path of the righteous is a lonely one, brother. So it's just me and you, buddy.
It's just us.
Forrest Gumping our way through the cigar industry. Fucking A. And you know what, dude? I wouldn't have it any other way because I'm fucking not kneeling to anybody ever.
That's why I have no sponsors.
Right.
Except Fang Energy.
That's why we have no sponsors.
We have no sponsors.
And we're not about to have any anytime soon. I can tell you that much.
Anytime soon, unless there's some brand that would take us on board.
All right.
Because they're going to take our microphones.
All right, let's get to the news.
All right, well, there's a couple of things. If you didn't look last week, we did the Heckle and Jekyll show with Jack and Hector. We had a really good time. It was a lot of fun. We were talking about our appearance on the Heckle and Jekyll show. It went really well. We were looking for
Jack's balls. That was fun. Yes. Am I on?
Yeah.
Are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
Are we on right now?
We're
Can
on
you hear
somewhere.
me? Am I on your Facebook? Are you going around? You didn't understand what we were saying.
No, I didn't know we were going there.
Yeah, so the Heckle and Jekyll show.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it went well. I don't know how many views they got or anything.
It looked like they got a lot of views.
That day, it looked like they got.
Yeah.
Yes. If they want us to come back on, you'll get more now.
That's fine. You just let us know.
I'm back anytime. And I have to apologize to Mr. Garofalo. 2 guys. He did not write a book. He had people on his show that rate other podcasts.
Yeah.
Evidently, the show. Someone brought that to my attention. One of our listeners said, that wasn't really the book that he wrote. He has written a book, but it's about how to run a cigar shop. How to be a retailer, not how to be a podcaster. So.
See, what's funny is we don't fact check, and I don't fucking.
I saw the thing. I mean, it looked like a book cover. It's a very nice photo. It looked like he was going run a podcast. But yeah, he just had some guests on that told him how to better his podcast.
He's got a lovely display. I mean, it looks like a game show. It's nice.
Yeah, that's other shows use that. Other shows use that same setup. It's a podcast service. So the graphics in the front they change depends on what the show is. So
that's amazing. What was really kind of crazy is I thought I got really one thing I forgot to add.
Sure.
is that, you know, like I never heard from John afterwards. JD. I ran into him at TPE, and he said, "What? So you got nothing? You're not gonna talk to me?"
Oh, last year you ran into TPE.
Well, this year, January.
Oh yeah, well, I mean,
after all this time, like he's never called and said, "Hey, you know what? Maybe we were kind of fucked up with what we did," or you know, like none of that shit.
No, nobody's gonna apologize.
It's sad.
He probably honestly doesn't think about it.
Probably not. I wish he did.
So when he's not losing sleep because he didn't sell you.
Damn it! I really wish he was just a little. Just give me the 1 minute.
Did you talk to him? We went to a barn burner one year. Did you talk to him there?
Nope.
No.
We have gone on Barn Smokers.
Barn smokers?
Yeah. We've gone to all of it.
Right. I'm surprised we're allowed to go to those.
Oh, we won't be now. We won't be now.
Pictures are at the door. It's our poster.
Do not let these motherfuckers.
Let these fuckers in. Right.
So.
All right, we'll do a little bit of news here. Let's pick a couple of good stories.
Yeah.
That one's on.
Oh, you don't want to talk about Jake White? We're getting it.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Oh, Jake White Cigar Company releasing lithium in November.
Mm-hmm.
That's where our friend
Gerard?
Jake White? Oh, I get confused. I was thinking somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
The guy used to be at HR.
Nope.
No, not him. Not him.
Oh, Todd Vance?
Yeah, Vance. Mr. Vance, yes.
Yeah, what the fuck is he rapping? That was one of the stuff that he read off the card for the...
Yeah, I thought it was Jake White, so it's the whole reason I picked the story.
Oh.
All right. Next month, Jake White Cigar Company will be doing a limited release of lithium, which we're going to have to start taking now. Its newest full production line. It features an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper over a Dominican binder and filler, which the company describes as medium full in strength. Lithium is being offered in a 6x50 Vitola that the company refers to as Double Robusto, coming with a pigtail cap and a closed foot, with plans for more sizes in the future. Ooh. Neil Garcia of Jake White Cigar Company said the company is aiming to have a full release ready for the PCA Convention Trade Show in July 2021. I wonder now we're going to be able to use other people's stories. I wonder if that'll be stopped.
No, you can't stop us. We give you the credit.
Oh, that's true. The company's produced, this is from Half Wheel. The company has produced 200 bundles of 10 cigars for the launch, which are being made available to all its authorized retailers and will be priced at $110 a box.
New segment just got really small.
Sinestro Habana Viaje Maduro debuting at Omerta Cigar Company. We like the guys at Omerta.
Omerta.
We like
them. Omerta's good peeps.
A new line from Sinestro Cigars, the Habano Viaje Maduro, will debut later this week at Omerta Cigar Company in Oklahoma City.
It's crazy to see how that's where the direction of the industry is going, right? Like, because everybody's now so accessible via the internet and stuff.
Yes.
Like, you can make a store exclusive for a particular company, and it should do fairly well, right?
Except us.
Nobody's gonna touch us with a 10-foot fucking pole after this one.
It's being released.
If you didn't think we were gonna get one before,
we're never getting one now.
Definitely not getting one now.
It's being released in a 5x52 Robusto Vitola with 200 boxes of 10 cigars produced for the debut. Each box is priced at $90.
They need equal size balls that we have, and I don't know, man. We just put some big ones on the table.
Well, maybe look at this. Stinky Ashtray gains new colors. 3 Stinky Ashtray lines will be added a combined of 13 new colors thanks to a new color option.
Did you get to vote like the M&M? We all went for blue. We all went for blue back in the day.
Original Stinky Ashtray, this ambiguous 8-inch model with 4 stirrups, will add 5 new colors, 4 of which are priced at $34.99.
Pastel?
Matte Black, Matte Blue, Matte Brown, Matte Red, and Matte Booth.
No. And Matte Booth.
Black nickel plated, $45.99. Also offered a stainless, $38.99, and a copper plated for $48.99.
Wow, so many options, so many places for me to put my ashes.
That's right. Instead of the floor or the table.
You know, I have one ashtray at my house that I really like.
Oh, I think I said you have one ashtray. It's the building.
No, yes, I have one ashtray. It's the building. I have one ashtray that Kelly King made for me.
Yes.
It's the unicorn ashtray.
Yes, the unicorn ashtray.
You know what? I fucking use that ashtray.
Oh, you know what? I have Stinkies, several of them.
Everywhere?
Well, I have 2 in the garage, 1 outside. But it's because one of them, I forget who I got them from, but one came broke. Right. So I, call them and go, look, it came broken. One of the stirrups came off. They went, you know what? Just keep that. We'll send you another one.
It's just cheaper.
It's just cheaper to send you.
Don't send it back.
No. Maybe we'll get this one. HVC Black Friday returns for 2020.
Ordered.
HVC. Well, we're not getting that either. The Black Friday 2020 limited edition will be a Corona Gorda this year.
Oh, my favorite.
More specifically, that's why you made it.
Yeah.
It will be a proper 5 by 58 by 46 Corona Gorda that includes.
Totally reminded me of another thing.
Habano Cafe wrapper over Corojo 99 and Criollo 98 binders. The company says it went heavier on the tobaccos from a Jalapa region for the binder and the filler. The exception for the filler is the Lajero, which is from Arganosa's Chilamante farm in Esteli.
Chilamante?
I picked this story because of all the big words that I got correct.
Mmm.
Pricing is set at $7.50. It will be limited to 500 boxes of 50 cigars.
You know, that's the other thing. You come down on a guy for having a triangle and saying, well, that's fucked up. But even though it's hypocritically fucking wrong, right? When you say, hey, this triangle represents something, but that's not what he's all about. Meanwhile, you know, Jeff did a post not too long ago saying, hey, you know, there are people fucking making fun of my Corona truck.
Oh, that's right, with the Corona.
Because the coronavirus is out,
right.
but they're
People
two totally different things.
Think the truck's full of coronavirus.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like,
Allegedly.
it's okay for you to fucking attack this poor fucking retailer, this wholesale manufacturer, but it's not okay for somebody to attack you and say that that's funny. So that's kind of ironic.
This is the 6th year that HVC has made a cigar to commemorate the annual post-Thanksgiving shopping holiday. Through this year, there are actually 2 new Black Fridays.
Oh.
The company has already announced that it will be producing a 3.5 by 50 firecracker.
Oh.
Mr. Garofalo,
for our friends, yeah.
Mr. Garofalo invented the firecracker.
He did.
Version for the United Cigar Group. There's a lot of Black Friday stuff here. We don't need to run through their cigars that they've made out of their entire life. Southern Draw, it's 2 sizes. It's a Jacob Ladder's Brimstone.
Southern Draw.
I picked this just so you can say that. A pair of new Vitolas are being added to Southern Draw's Jacob Ladder Brimstone line this month, one of which is a single store exclusive, while the other will be notable for its distinct size.
It's a store exclusive. And yet another store exclusive.
That we're not getting. The new Vitola is the Oblivion, a 5 by 58 Perfecto that will head to Cigar Federation and comes with an amped up blend. Jacob Ladder amped up. That's some serious stuff. It's already very strong. You want to do his voice?
Southern Draw.
We have substituted the filler combination with. I can't do his voice. It's too deep, too manly. I can't do it. Robert Holt. The filler combination was stronger than the original Lajero tobacco, truly full-bodied blend for those demanding palates, said Ethan Jacob Holt, the namesake of the blend. That's his son, I believe.
The son.
Via a press release for those that smoke the cigar, the name will almost certainly be justified, he added. The first batch will be limited to 4,000 cigars, priced at $49.95 per 5-pack, with sales slated to start on Monday, October 19th. The second new size is the Un Presidente, a 9 by 48 Gran Corona that is often referred to as the A Vitola. Though the traditional Cuban A Vitola is a measured 9 1/4 by 47. While the cigar is scheduled to be released just days before the election, the company says it's not a political statement. But simply a coincidence that it is coming out ahead of the vote on the United States' next president. Rather, the cigar is named as a tribute to Cuban cigars of similar sizes.
Aha.
That's all the news I
And
got.
that's all you got.
I would like to congratulate my wife. She just passed her her Feely test. She gets to be a principal now. Apparently today they announced it over the intercom when they did the morning announcements.
Nice.
Somebody decorated her door.
Oh.
She was given flowers, a cake. I understand there's a parade later in the week, possibly.
Oh, a parade?
Nah.
6 feet? Everybody was different.
Social distance.
Parades are
Definitely frowned upon at the moment. Maybe it's not a parade. Maybe it's just a Zoom parade.
yeah.
Yes.
That's cool. Some computer screens.
So congratulations, honey.
Congratulations.
I'm glad you finally got that behind us. Whew.
That's a big win.
It's a big win for her.
That
yes.
was a tough. That was
Yes.
a tough.
That was a tough.
And you kept at it.
Yes.
80 King Palmer.
She came out of the test waving the paper, jumping up and down, and I'm honking the horn. She's going, shh, people inside take the test. I'm going, beep, 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 beep. Sit down,
Fuck
honey.
those people.
Fuck the people. You can't pass your test either.
So that's awesome.
So we spent the day drinking and carousing with friends at different bars and locations throughout the Central Florida
You're
area.
making your way.
Well,
Did you take? We went to Celery City.
yeah, we went to San Jimmy.
Okay.
We came here too,
Okay.
and I ended up working. That's why we left. Poor Chet was a little overwhelmed at the time.
Poor Chet.
Poor Chetty, who does Fable Fridays.
Fable Fridays.
Happy Friday, smoke a Fable.
Every Friday.
Well, this has been a very interesting and enlightening show.
We got Halloween coming up.
Our last show ever that we ever done.
We got Halloween coming up.
Yes, there's a big event here.
Oh, we have a Jewish Theater event.
Maybe. Maybe
We have a
not.
Drew Estate event this Friday. If you
Maybe
if you
not
wanna
now.
come
It
on.
might be a Postania event.
Come on.
And Fable Friday event.
You know, there's still some good people.
We're gonna carry Roma Craft, Postania, Fable, Guaymaro,
There are still some good people at Drew Estate.
Espinoza. We'll still have that.
Pedro's a great guy.
Yes.
The mayor of Esteli.
Mayor of Esteli used to make saddles.
Yeah.
I
Amongst
would
other
so
things.
like to have a saddle or something that he had made.
A Pedro saddle.
If I was a big
I think it was a
Estate.
different stage in his life. I don't know the quality of the saddle. So yeah, I mean, we're trying to figure out how to navigate this as far as taking. I mean, I'll be damned if the fucking coronavirus is gonna stop me from fucking taking my kids out on Halloween. So
Right, yeah. I guess your city's doing it?
yeah,
All cities are doing it from what I hear.
really
I don't know what it is, county by county, city by city, I don't understand what it is. But,
should be interesting.
We will be over in Sanford at the Atwell home, helping them pass out candy and scare children. It's his favorite holiday.
Yeah, I had no
that should
idea.
be fun.
Looking around the shop, I had no idea that Chet
That
loved
would,
Halloween.
you really couldn't tell, huh? And this isn't the good stuff.
The werewolf. Yeah, the good stuff was gonna come here, and then all of a sudden it didn't.
Right. Well, you should see the smoking lounge he's built. It's got zombies in it and body parts. See, last night he's smoking holding somebody's arm with the cigar in between somebody else's
Jeez.
hand.
Yes.
Quite
Good stuff.
Quite the thing.
Well, I'd say let's review the Way One Say 5-year, but we don't have any. They're all gone.
Oh, for the Patreon.
Yeah. But we got a Patreon coming up.
Oh, think what that's gonna be.
Should be good.
If this was this, wait till that. So you can still get in on it.
I tell you what, man, I feel like
$10 a month to
that's
get
got-
you access to the
Patreon.
sacred shows.
I just got some fucking shit off my chest. It's been building all week, so thank you for listening.
Yes, we appreciate you
It's
listening.
important to speak your truth.
It should be a very
The Rock says it's important to speak your truth, and I just spoke my
good
truth.
show. Oh, back to Adrian real quick. She had forgot something and had to go back in the house when we left for to go take tests. As she comes out, I hit on my phone. I start playing "Eye of the Tiger."
Yeah.
So we. As she's walking to the car, played it all the way through, and then we get there and we're a little early, so we're sitting in the car. And guess what I played right before she gets out of the car?
Eye of the Tiger.
I Am.
Oh, Eric Thomas.
That's right.
Love that guy.
I am the greatest.
Powerful,
I am.
powerful guy.
I told her, I go, that was the difference, honey, because I played I Am the Tiger and then
And
I
I
Am as you got out of the car.
So
walked
you're
in the
welcome,
building. So you're
80
welcome.
King Palmer.
Well, you're the I Am, but not the I Am the Tiger.
Right. Well, whatever.
All right, this has been episode 145,
Yes, the truth shall set you free.
our last show. It's been fun. I've enjoyed doing it.
It's not our last show. They gotta. I mean, there's gotta be.
Well, it's not my
there's
last
gotta
show.
be paperwork.
It'll be your last show, not mine. I'm gonna put a cease and
You gotta
desist.
call the lawyer. He's gotta send the paperwork. We
Cease
can
and
squeeze a
desist,
couple
a
more in.
gag order, whatever else they're gonna do to you.
So, the lost episode.
No, it's gonna go out. It'll go up tomorrow. So
Boom.
they can't stop us from hearing it until somebody hears it.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while. At least.
Not like he has any idea that we're doing this today.
I don't think he cares.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll find out soon enough.
I got in trouble for less.
Yeah,
We already talked about that before.
it's true.
All right, everybody. Thank you. We appreciate you watching, listening, viewing, whatever you do.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, this has been episode 145, and now comes the most important part of this week's show. The Cigar Hustlers podcast, its owners, and its sponsors take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host or their guest. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of Mike and Mike Productions or the podcast providers, and opinions between talk show hosts may differ. It is not our intention to libel, incite, or hurt anyone's feelings. We invite you to write the show's host, Mike Stepankevich, with any feedback or suggestions that you have for their shows. These broadcasts are presented and made public as entertainment in the hope that they will be entertaining to the audience.
This has been a Cigar Hustlers podcast, a Mike and Mike production. Be sure to listen every Tuesday at 10 a.m. for all new episodes.
Hi, I'm Husto Iroa.
Yeah, we just don't have to do a single podcast ever again.
Perfect.
Ever.
I'm good, Mike and Mike. How are you guys doing?
The Hojo, the
Hojo! It's the Hojo!
the
You didn't
moderator.
even let him fuck it up all the way.
I gotta get past Hojo.
Go on. I don't even have to try to hit the record. He's not even try. We're gonna cover a lot of ground here, Mike. All right.
Try to keep up.
That's a sign of a good podcast.
Maybe like 4 cigars when I walked in the door.
All right, end this.
Mike squared.